Hey guys, Gojira Plus back to more today, and we are back with more predictions. And this one will hopefully not be almost 40 minutes long, as I'm doing my 2025 NFL playoff predictions. Now, last year I think I picked the Ravens and 49ers and went 0-2 there. And the year before that I chose Chiefs 49ers and got 2 of 2. So I'm hoping to at least get one of the two today. Will the 49ers be my pick for the third year in a row for the NFC? Find out soon enough, because they are in the playoffs in my predictions. If you want to know what teams are in the playoffs and what teams are going to have top picks and what place they'll have in the conference and what I think about their teams overall, go look at my other predictions. I have NFC and AFC predictions for the regular season on this channel. Make sure to subscribe to Goy Jr. and let's not waste any more time. So the wild card, since the Lions and Ravens are the 1 seeds, they both have bye weeks. The first game is the number 7, 9-8 Packers up against the number 2, 12-5 Eagles. Now, one thing I did mention in my prior videos that despite the fact that the Packers are 9-8 in my predictions, I think they're probably a top 5 team in the NFC. I think if I had to choose a top 5 in, purely based off of roster, I think it'd be Lions, Eagles, Buccaneers, Packers, and either Commanders or 49ers. Take your pick. That's my top 5 in terms of straight team roster strength. The Packers have one of the best rosters in the NFL, but they still have to go on the road against the best roster in the NFL, in my opinion, the Eagles. Because even though they're only the 2nd seed, I'm telling you right now, the Eagles have a very high chance of going back to the Super Bowl. I just can't believe they built such a good team. And while I think the Packers are one of the most quietly elite rosters in the NFL, the Eagles are the most loud elite roster, and they're way better than the Packers. It's not way better, but if you think the Packers are great, you must think the Eagles are by far and away the best team in the NFL. But either way, this should be a good matchup. I think the Eagles being at home makes it even harder for the Packers. So I'm going to pick the Eagles. But don't be surprised if the Packers face off against a different division leader somehow by being the 6th or 5th seed like the Bucks or the 49ers. Don't be surprised if they manage to pull out a victory and maybe even head to the NFC's conference championship game. Just in this case, they're facing the Eagles. I can't pick them. And now you have the number 6 Commanders against the number 3 Bucks. The same game as last year. I think they're the same seeds. I think they're the 5th, 6th seed going against the... Wait, no. Well, yes, I think I'm right. Either way, the Commanders were on the road last year, but they did upset the Bucks with, I believe, a game-winning field goal to move on to the divisional and then the championship game, while the Buccaneers fell in their first round. Now, I think this is a similar matchup. Neither team changed a drastic amount, but I think the Bucs being at home and it being a rematch of last year is going to make them even more fueled to win. I think the Commanders are still a good team, but if you could tell by me picking them to go 10-7, I'm not a big Commanders fan. People think they're going to have a big jump. I don't quite see that. I think they definitely could, especially if Daniels really sends himself into the top 3-4 quarterbacks, which will be hard because there's so many elite ones. But if he's up there, then this Commanders team will be even better than last year. I just don't exactly see that, and there's a lot of NFC teams improving, so I had them at 10-7. One win better were the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who did benefit from being able to sweep 2 of their 3 divisional opponents, and now they're in the same spot as last year, but this time you need to pick up a wild card win. And you know what? I think they do that. I think this time the Buccaneers do take down the Commanders. I'm sorry, Daniels fans. I'm sorry, Eagles haters that are also likely Commanders fans, but the Eagles are moving on, but the Commanders are not. I think I did score predictions last year, so for the Eagles game, give me the Eagles 32-24, something in that range. I think it'll be relatively close, but not like a scenario where the Packers could have won based off of one simple play. For the Bucks Commanders, give me the Bucks. Give me them 27-21. And now for the final NFC wildcard game, we got the Falcons, we got the 49ers. This will be the Falcons' first playoff game since 2017 season and the 2018 calendar year. And they're facing a team that's been in the playoffs almost every year since Kyle Shanahan's been their coach. Last year was a irregularity. But this 49ers roster is too good to miss the playoffs again, which is why I have them going 11-6. Well, I think the Falcons are in a similar spot where their roster is getting too good to a point where if you fail to make the playoffs this year, there's something wrong up high in the higher ups. But in this case, I have both teams making the playoffs. The Falcons are the 5 seed at 10-7. So it shows you that besides division winners, there's not a ton of elite NFC teams. I think there's a very clear tier 1 with the Lions and the Eagles, and there's kind of everybody else. But I think this will be tough for the Falcons, playing all the way from Atlanta to San Francisco, California, playing against one of the most experienced coaches in the NFL, playing against one of the best defenses in the NFL. And while I do love this Falcons offense, I just believe in the 49ers roster more right now, even with Brock Purdy probably taking a game manager role again this year. I think this could be a tough game. I think I have the 49ers winning it, which means despite the fact the Falcons do get their first playoff berth in a long time, they don't get their first playoff victory in a long time. They'll lose to the 49ers 17-20. And now we got the AFC, starting with the number 7 Bengals versus the number 2 Bills. I don't think this is a very controversial opinion to think the Bengals are going to be a wild card exit. I mean, their defense is just so terrible. Did you see the preseason game yesterday? I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I heard a lot of bad about it from both Bengals and other fans. That Bengals defense just looks atrocious, man. And that makes me even doubt if they can make the playoffs. But, I mean, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are so good, it's kind of hard to take them out again. I do have them losing to the Bills here. I mean, the Bills just are a more complete team, arguably better QB. Like, they have an arguably as good offense, probably worse than the Bengals, were very close. And then just an astronomically better defense, which I think pushes the Bills over the hump. Give me Buffalo 38-27. Next, we got Chargers at Chiefs. Chargers make it to the playoffs with a 10-7 record, much like the Bengals, but they are a seed higher. And the Chiefs went 12-5, which is enough for number 3. I mean, I just can't trust the Chargers to win a playoff game until they do it. I'm sorry. Herbert is still good, but he's not Mahomes. The receiver core, it's got McConkey. I mean, it's got Johnston, who we're still waiting for to finally start catching passes and getting open and not being lazy. Versus the best coach in the NFL, in my opinion, and one of the best rosters, along with one of the best defenses. Chargers have a real solid defense, too. I think this could be a real low-scoring game. Matter of fact, give me the Chiefs 17-14. And I haven't had any games be multiple scores yet, I believe. But, well, no, yeah, I just did Bills-Bengals. But I think that since the AFC West battle, I think it will be tough. But I think in the end of the day, the more experienced Chiefs will take down the Chargers. And now the final wild card game, Steelers-Texans. The Steelers have a better record than the Texans, as a matter of fact, going 11-6 to the Texans 10-7. And while their offense is very disappointing for the Steelers, at least on paper, their defense has a lot to really be excited about. I mean, an elite defensive line, great secondary, good linebackers. There's no weakness in this defense. The Texans, I mean, they have a good roster. I think they have by far the best roster in the AFC South. But can they defeat the Steelers at home? Well, it's also Stroud versus Wilson. I think Stroud does have the advantage at the moment. I think the Texans really just all around have a better offense. I don't think that's debatable. But the Steelers have by far the better defense. My pick to win this game is the Steelers on the road, making them the only road team to win a game in the wild card. I've got the Steelers winning 17-28. And now for the divisional round. 4 matchups. We got the number 4 49ers versus the number 1 Lions. We know what happened the last time they played. The Lions blew an insane lead to take the 49ers back to the Super Bowl. Just lose again, but, they made it. I think the Lions have got this one in the bag, though. I'm going to be honest. They have a better roster. Dan Campbell's much more experienced. I mean, this is 2 years apart. They will still have home field advantage. I mean, and I just don't have a lot of trust in Purdy. I know he made it to the Super Bowl one time, but he had that one real nice season, and maybe he's more than a game manager, but I can't see much right now. And then they lost Deebo Samuel. Ayuk should be back, but will he and Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall be enough? We'll see, but right now I'm picking the Lions to win this game. If the 49ers even make it this far, I think it'll be a pretty dominant 49ers win. Lions win. I'll take them 31-13 at home to send them to the championship. And now, Buccaneers, Eagles. This is also pretty, not historic, but they've been facing each other a lot recently. I think did the Bucs win the last time they played? I'm not sure, but yeah. The Eagles, of course, with my opinion, which I've said multiple times, the best roster in football versus the Bucs, who also have a really great offense, some holes on defense. But this is a kind of tough one because I think the Bucs could really put up a fight against the Eagles. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to take the Eagles. I think they have the better quarterback, the better offense, and the better defense. And it's kind of hard to pick against them in that fact, especially when they're also playing at home. So, yeah, give me the Eagles. I think it'll be closer. Give me the Eagles 22-17. Let's give them 22-20 with a Chase McLaughlin missed game-winning field goal because I don't like him. I don't like the Bucs. Anyway, that's not the reason I picked them to lose. If I wanted them to lose just because they're the Bucs, I would have chosen them to lose again to the Commanders. Now I've got number 5 Steelers versus number 1 Ravens. Now I kind of want to go through everything where I think the Steelers have a chance, but I really don't think they do because it's a good battle when they're going against a team with a great offense and a bad defense. But when the other team has a better offense and arguably a better defense, both teams have amazing defenses. So you have to look at the offense, and the Ravens have the much better offense. And then they are on the road too. They've already played 2 times. This will be the tiebreaker. I've got to go with the Ravens. And maybe not in blowout fashion. We'll give the Ravens 34. Now, I think it probably won't be too close. We'll give the Steelers 20. Now, this could be competitive. The Steelers could come out with a win if the defense really does just shut down Lamar, but I can't see that. Now, we've got number 3 Chiefs, number 2 Bills. We've seen how this goes. Bills think they have a chance, think they really have a shot. Then Mahomes does Mahomes stuff, whether that's making an elite play, getting a lucky call, and the Bills fall. But this time the Bills are the team at home, and the Chiefs kind of are on a bit of a downhill after losing the Super Bowl in such a fashion. So I'm going to go with the Bills at home. For the playoffs, the home field advantage mattered so much recently. The home team almost always wins. And I'm going to say that happens again, even at Patrick Mahomes' expense. So, because he usually doesn't make the Super Bowl. I don't think he's going to make the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, okay? I just don't think that's going to happen. So give me the Bills. Let's say 28-27. Mahomes does fight back, but Josh Allen is going to the AFC Championship. Speaking of conference championships. So we've got Eagles and we've got Lions. And while the Lions are at home, while I think they have probably the best offense in NFL, I mean, it's hard to say because you got to think about Jared Goff and stuff. You got to think about Frank Ragnow retiring. That's a big hit to their whole line. But, man, the Lions' offense last year was really unstoppable. And then the Eagles are on the road here, the 2 seed. The Eagles are still maybe the best coached team. Despite that one weird blunder with Nick Sirianni in Week 2 against the Falcons last year, I won't forget about that. I think being in the same spot as last year is going to give them a real good shot. I think the Eagles and Lions are going to put on an all-timer in this game. But at the end of the day, my pick is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, man. It's going to be real hard to see them not going back to the Super Bowl this year. So, thanks to their probably better defense than the Lions, I think that's going to be the push. The Eagles I feel like they're going to make more plays on defense than the Lions will this game. Maybe, once again, Dan Campbell's ego gets ahead of him. So, give me the Eagles 37 35. And then we've got number 2 Bills, number 1 Ravens. Same situation as the Eagles-Lions game. Ravens are at home. Ravens have maybe the best roster in the AFC compared to the Eagles in the NFC. But I don't know, man. There's something about the Bills last year. The way that they were the first team to beat the Chiefs. The way that they were so close to making it last year. The fact that they've never won a Super Bowl. The fact that Josh Allen and his Bills beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the divisional of my predictions. And that teams that usually beat the Chiefs usually end up being really good. I'm going to take the Ravens in an on-the-road upset. Give me the Bills 31-28. That brings us to the Super Bowl. Number 2 Eagles versus number 2 Bills. I don't even know what the Super Bowl is this year. But, man, this is a real good game. It's Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. They say Josh Allen's about where you need to be if you want to be called an elite quarterback. And a lot of people don't want to call Jalen Hurts an elite quarterback. Well, in mine, he's made to Super Bowl 3 times now. Josh Allen, his first. Man, this is 2 great defenses facing off. I think the Eagles still have a little bit of an advantage on offense, but James Cook is a scoring demon, and Keon Coleman's going to be getting better for the Bills. I think I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. You know what? I'm going to go with the Bills. I don't know if the Eagles are that dynasty team that are going to win 2 Super Bowls in a row yet. I don't think that we're going to have 2 teams in a row two-peat. Give me the Bills. Give me 24-20. And that closes out this season. I have the Bills as my Super Bowl champions. Hopefully I'm at least kind of close this time. So that's going to end the video today. So tell me your Super Bowl predictions down below.